Welcome to the Mujiwara Sketches YouTube channel, buddy. Hey, One Piece fans! Welcome back to another exciting breakdown of the latest chapter of One Piece. Chapter 1108 of One Piece shows that both Dory and Broggy were going in the same direction to find Luffy. Let's jump right into it. One Piece's Egghead Island arc keeps going strong, and it looks like the peak of this amazing arc is just around the corner. Fans have already seen some amazing action on Egghead, thanks to characters like Saturn, Kizaru, Luffy, and, of course, Sanji. Within the last few chapters, these characters have been fighting. Now that the arc's end is getting closer, Luffy seems likely to take center stage by fighting both Saturn and Kizaru at the same time. The Egghead Island arc has taken a huge turn for the better, and fans can't wait to see how it all ends. Part 1, Luffy returns to Gear 5 on Egghead. During the Egghead Island arc, Luffy used Gear 5's power more than once. Luffy used this power for the first time while fighting Rob Lucci. Next, after quickly beating Lucci, Luffy fought the Seraphims and the Pacifista. In this fight, however, he did not use the power of Gear 5. He did, however, use his best form when fighting Admiral Kizaru, as he should have, since he was up against the 3 billion berry man. Luffy drained all of his energy after fighting so many times before, leading to his defeat in the end. Luffy then ran out of energy, as fans already know, because Gear 5 uses a lot of it. However, Luffy got enough energy from the food to go back into the fight at full strength. Now that Luffy has used Gear 5 again, he wants to end all the fights on Egghead by himself. After that, he hit Kizaru once, seriously hurting him, and as we saw in the previous chapter, he also attacked Saint Saturn very strongly, using his new attack. As seen in One Piece chapter 1108, Luffy fought Saturn again, but this time Saturn changed into a spider. As things went on, Vegapunk's situation got worse, and Luffy couldn't fight without thinking, so he told Sanji to take Vegapunk and leave the island. Part 2, Luffy vs. Kizaru and Saturn. Luffy knew it was time to do something drastic as soon as Saturn changed into his full spider form and returned to fight. Sanji received instructions to take Vegapunk, flee from the fight, and head to the edge of the island. Sanji obeyed the captain's orders without hesitation, but Kizaru made sure it would be hard for him to get away. He used a powerful blow to hit Sanji, then stabbed Vegapunk in the chest. Because Sanji is so tough, this attack didn't seem to hurt him at all, so he picked up Vegapunk again and ran away. When Kizaru tried to follow them, Luffy, who had changed into a giant, blocked his way. At the same time, Saturn was using his poison to try to kill everything around him. Luffy stopped him too. It's safe to say that this amazing scene in which Luffy stops both Saturn and Kizaru at the same time was one of the best parts of One Piece. When Luffy changed into his huge form, he grabbed Saturn's head with one hand and squashed Kizaru with the other. It looks like Saturn is handling this better than Kizaru, as he appears to be okay. However, the Marine Admiral has suffered a lot of damage from Luffy's hold on him. Because Luffy squashed Kizaru so badly, there was a lot of blood coming out of his nose. Kizaru has already suffered a lot of damage, and Luffy clearly refuses to let him escape. Luffy isn't very serious in Gear 5. Indeed, this is only the second time fans have seen him look serious, and that time it was because Vegapunk was hurt. Luffy seems sure that he can fight both of them and beat them together. He said it himself, he doesn't want to let either of them get away or hurt Sanji or Vegapunk. The fight has started, and it looks like it will go on for a few more weeks. Part 3, can Luffy defeat both Kizaru and Saturn? He is up against both Saturn and Kizaru at the same time, and Luffy is at full strength. Of course, his fans want to know if he can beat both of them at the same time. The answer to that question is yes, Luffy is definitely able to do that. One thing is for sure, a Marine Admiral is not as strong as a Yonko. Oda has shown fans this many times during the Egghead Island story. The fact that Luffy had no trouble with Kizaru in One Piece chapter 1108 shows once more that the Admirals are not as strong as the Yonko. At the same time, Saturn, who is very strong, mostly seems to be having a hard time dealing with Luffy. The way things are going, Luffy might be able to fight both of them or at least hold them back. Luffy might even be able to beat them both by pulling a rabbit out of a hat, but it doesn't look like it will happen. Fans know for sure that Luffy will probably not be fighting alone, though. Chapter 1108 of One Piece shows that both Dory and Broggy were going in the same direction to find Luffy. At the same time, Sanji might go back to battle after Vegapunk is safely brought to the edge of the island. Because of this, Luffy is not likely to lose this fight since help is on the way. But if Luffy has to fight both of them by himself, he has to win. And fans know that the Straw Hat Pirates will not leave Egghead if Luffy loses this fight. They have to do that for the story to move forward. So, either Dory, Broggy, and Sanji will join Luffy in the fight, or he'll have to beat both Kizaru and Saturn by himself, which is very hard but something that only he can do. Summary and highlights. Luffy uses Gear 5 to fight both Kizaru and Saturn at the same time, showing how strong and determined he is. As Luffy fights stronger enemies on Egghead Island, the battle gets worse, and help may be on the way. Fans can't wait to see how the intense battle turns out and wonder if Luffy can beat two very strong enemies. And there you have it, folks. That wraps up our analysis of Chapter 1108 of One Piece. What are your thoughts on Luffy's showdown against Kizaru and Saturn? Do you think he has what it takes to emerge victorious? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more One Piece content. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Sketches YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our funny sketch videos and anime reviews. Don't forget to subscribe to continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, questions, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again. See you next time, buddy. What is One Piece anime? One Piece is a manga and anime story about a young boy named Monkey D. Luffy who wants to be the king of the pirates in the world. As a child, he eats a devil fruit, a strange plant that makes him able to stretch like rubber. Before the show starts, Luffy goes out into the world for the first time and starts to gather a group of pirates. The main group grows over time, but it starts with Luffy, Nami the Navigator, and a swordsman named Roronoa Zoro. At some point, Luffy and his friends are known as the Straw Hat Pirates, and they go on many exciting adventures across the ocean. One Piece is a lot of fun because it's silly. Luffy goes from island to island around the world in the series. Each island has its own setting and theme. It's a pretty fantastical world full of animals that look like people, live skeletons, and other delightfully strange things. Within moments the group is in a winter scene, and the next they are on a tropical island full of giants. The show is full of silly and bright details. For example, Zoro holds a sword in his mouth, a scary military boss wears a cute bulldog hat, and people don't use phones to talk to each other instead. They use special transponder snails that can send and receive messages. Luffy is a carefree person who just wants to eat a tasty meal and laugh at bad jokes. Even though there are some funny parts in the series, a lot of One Piece is about freedom. During his travels, Luffy often takes up guns to help his friends and encourages others to do the same against pirates and government-backed military occupations. The characters in Luffy and his crew get stronger with each fight, which is typical for shonen manga. A lot of the story is about how Luffy beats a problem that seemed impossible to solve and finds some kind of secret power. After each fight, Luffy and his team get stronger and move closer to his main goal, which is to find the One Piece. Why is it called One Piece? The first part of both the manga and the anime shows that Pirate King Gold D. Roger is telling the truth about the mythical wealth called the One Piece. One Piece is the name of the show because Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become the next Pirate King. One of Luffy's main goals in the show is mentioned in the show's title. What is the One Piece? The answer to this question is still one of the biggest secrets in the series. It's been more than 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what One Piece is. We know that the One Piece is the name of the treasure that Gold D. Roger collected on his travels because of details in the manga. We still don't know a lot about the treasure, though. There are a lot of ideas from fans about what the One Piece is, but we still don't know what it is or even if it's real. The One Piece could just be the friends Luffy makes along the way.